Welcome to Business Startup for Boomers. This is the show that brings you inspiration and ideas to start your own boomer business. Here's your hosts, Larry Aarons and Jeff Williams.
Hello, fellow boomers. All right, we are going to have another episode today as we tap into the wit and wisdom of Jeff Williams. Hey, that sounds pretty good, huh, Jeff?
Yeah, absolutely, Larry. Thank you.
You're welcome. We did an episode about selling services to the consumer market, and now we're going to sell services to businesses. This is known in the biz world as B2B, and you can make a lot of money selling services to businesses, and Jeff's going to give us some examples.
Well, you're absolutely right. In terms of corporate parlance, this is known as outsourcing. This is when the corporation uses an outside company to provide a service or sometimes products that are really important to the corporate process. And as corporations have been laying off people over the last 10, 12 years, just because they get rid of the person doesn't mean they don't get rid of the person's job. And things still need to get done, so they're hiring more and more people all the time. So the first step in starting to plan a service business to sell to corporations and other businesses is to sit down and write down what exact need you're going to satisfy. Is it going to be in financial management? Is it going to be in production management? In other words, something in the factory. Is it going to be IT, computer stuff? Is it going to be personnel and HR? You need to narrow it down, first of all, to one of the large subdivisions that you find in most corporations. And then you need to drill down even further and say, okay, I'm an HR person, a human resource person, and I want to specialize in selling HR services. Well, which ones are you going to sell? And you should know something about this from your past experience. Otherwise, why do you want to go into this business? If your past experience doesn't inform you as to whether to go into this business, you probably shouldn't be doing it. So right. Let's say that you over 15 years of being an HR manager, you realized that a lot of corporations really are not very good at reviewing the personnel to see who should be promoted next. Kind of like, the minor leagues in baseball, knowing you always have talent coming up. And you may say, I've observed from my experience that not very many companies are good at having the talent development. So I'm going to create a series of services, one or more, that are related to helping that HR director and his staff do a better job of preparing the talent to move up inside the company. Now, that may only take you a half an hour to sit down and write your description, but where the time comes in is it may take you weeks and weeks to create the actual service package. Exactly what are you going to describe on your website? What is it that you're offering to these people? And that can take quite a bit of time to do. Now, what you may realize as you're working on this is that you're actually selling 4 or 5 different services with different prices. But they're all under that same umbrella, which is grooming let's call it grooming your talent.
Okay.
And you want to try to say, okay, what's the range here? It could be everything from recruiting services to profiling your talent. In other words, interviewing who you think are your top 20 people and coming back to corporate management and saying, okay, we talked to these 20 people. We think that in reality only 10 of them are really prepared to move up in the corporate structure. These are the 10. That would be a service you can sell. And I will tell you that this is very lucrative because corporations are very accustomed to paying $200, $300, $400 an hour for this kind of work.
They don't even blink at that, do they?
No. Matter of fact, if you come in below, say, $275 an hour, they think you're an amateur.
I have a friend who was an HR specialist, and his business, he goes around and helps companies form wellness programs for their employees. That's a big thing. Yeah, and he goes in, helps a small company, medium-sized company, put together a wellness program for employees, and he's real busy.
I bet he is. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's, with this very heated conversation about health care coverage in this country. One of the topics that's really kind of been lost in conversation recently is what they call preventative programs that are trying through wellness education and exercise and discipline, trying to keep people from having that heart problem or that kidney problem, because it's a lot more expensive. Once they develop the chronic condition, it's just really ungodly costly to do it. So yeah, I mean, corporations are, they're very much in the profit and loss. They're saying, wait a minute, I think this could improve our profit if we're losing fewer employees to chronic health problems. So I can see why he's busy.
They also look at it, these companies look at it as an employee benefit so they can keep their key people. So that's just one example of hundreds that you could do for a company of any size.
Right. And if you're talking about, a Fortune 1000 corporation, the $1 billion and up, then you got even more opportunities. And there's two ways really to sell a service. One of them is to sell a very specific service package. The other one is to go in and find a project that has a broader goal than just that service and say, okay, I will combine 4 different services to satisfy this project. Mm-hmm. And in that case, you may have to subcontract some of the work to somebody else. I not only have a network that supports my company, but I also have a network of about 25 other consultants who do things differently than I do them, different things. And sometimes when I go for a project, I'll realize that in order to do the third part of the project, I need Fred.
All right.
Or Mary.
Yeah, Fred or Mary are perfect for this project. Listen, this is such a broad area, but selling services to business is a very lucrative area of business that you can get into. And we can't cover it all right here on this short episode, but what you can do is talk to Jeff personally about helping focus your idea, and you can book a call with Jeff, and Jeff, tell him how to do that.
Just go to bizstarters.com, scroll down a little bit on the homepage until you see an accent box, and there's a link inside that says book a call with Jeff. Click on that, takes you to my calendar, pick a day and time that work for you for a free 30-minute call to talk about anything you want to talk about starting a business.
Very good, Jeff. Great advice today. I hope this is just an idea starter for our boomer entrepreneurs out there, and you can help them further by booking a call with them and exploring the topic further. It's great to talk to you again, Jeff. Thanks for your knowledge.
Thanks, Larry.
This has been Business Startup for Boomers with your hosts Larry Aarons and Jeff Williams, the show that brings you inspiration and ideas to start your own boomer business. See you next time.